In this lesson, we're going to learn how to utilize and analyze the formula for volume of spheres as well as hemispheres. The formula for a sphere is 4 times pi times radius cubed divided by 3. With a sphere, we still are working with a circle, and so we still have a radius, and the height of our sphere is actually going to be the diameter, which is 2 radii. So that's where we get r cubed. We're going to practice finding the volume using 3.14 as well as the pi symbol itself. So our radius is 9. So our volume is going to be 4 times 3.14 times 9 cubed divided by 3. So we're simply just going to use our calculator. I like to use the N over D feature, and I'm going to say 4 times 3.14 times 9 cubed divided by 3, and we get 3,052 and 800, and let's just call this inches, and let's say inches cubed. Now we're going to define the volume in terms of the pi symbol. So we are going to multiply 4 times 9 cubed and then divide that by 3, and we get a coefficient of 972 times pi, and that's going to be inches cubed. Let's try one more. This time they give us the diameter, so our radius is actually 12. So in terms of 3.14, we will get a volume of, so 4 times 3.14 times 12 cubed divided by 3 is 7,234 and 56 hundredths inches cubed. Now, in terms of pi, 4 times pi times 12 cubed divided by 3. Again, we're going to multiply 4 times 12 cubed and then divide it by 3. And this gives us a coefficient of 2,304 times pi inches cubed. Now they're going to give us the volume, and we're going to find the radius. We're first going to do it in terms of the symbol pi, and then in terms of 3.14. So volume is given, so I'm going to replace V with 7,776 pi is equal to 4 times pi times some radius cubed divided by 3. So the first thing we're going to do, there's nothing to multiply, so we're going to undo division. R was being cubed, then multiplied, and then divided. So we're going to undo the division first by multiplying by 3. On the left side, we get 23,328 times pi, don't forget to bring that down, is equal to 4 pi r cubed. Now we're going to undo the multiplication by division, and 4's cancel, pi's cancel, and we're left with r cubed is equal, so we have 23,328 divided by 4 gives us 5,832. Now, instead of taking the square root to undo squaring, we are going to take the cube root, and you use your calculator. And so I am going to, on my TI-30XS, I go, so the first thing we do is we type in 3, our index number, this is our index number. So I'm going to type in 3 into my calculator, then I'm going to go to second and then caret, and then I'm going to put in my radicand 5,832, and I get 18. So my radius is 18. Now let's try to solve this or find the volume actually using 3.14. So the volume is 24,416 and 64 hundredths is equal to 4 times 3.14 times r cubed divided by 3. So we're going to go ahead and multiply 4 times 3.14, and we get 12 and 58 hundredths times r cubed divided by 3. So we're solving for r, trying to find the radius. So we're going to undo the division. R was cubed, then multiplied, then divided. So we work backward, and we're going to multiply both sides times 3. And when we multiply, on the left side, we get 73,249 and 92 hundredths is equal to 12 and 58 hundredths times r cubed. Now we need to divide each side by 12.58, and then we'll have r cubed equals. So let's divide this. And we get 5,822, and we'll say 0.7. Now we're going to take the cube root of both sides. So I'm going to say second. Well, first of all, we have to put in our index 3, then second caret, and then we put in 5,822.7, and we get 17.99, which rounds to 18. Again, we're given the volume, and we are given it in terms of pi. So let's plug in 288 pi, and for V, we are finding the radius r. So r is cubed, multiplied, and divided. So we're going to multiply first, undoing our operations. So when we multiply 288 times 3, we get a coefficient of 864. Pi is equal to 4 pi r cubed. We are going to undo the multiplication by dividing. This cancels our 4's and our pi's. And we have r cubed is equal to 864 divided by 4 gives us 216. We are going to take the cube root to undo cubing. And so our radius, we're going to say 3 for our index, second caret, and 216 is our radicand, and we get a radius of 6. Let's solve it again. This time we have included 3.14 in the volume. I'm going to go ahead and multiply 4 times 3.14. Again, I'm not using the key feature. I'm typing in 3.14. We are going to undo the division first, so we're going to multiply both sides by 3. So we have the 904 and 32 hundredths times 3 gives us 2,712 and 96 hundredths is equal to 12.56 radius cubed. Let's divide by our coefficient. And when we divide, we get the 216. And now we're going to take the cube root of both sides, and radius is 6. Okay, now let's take a look at hemispheres. Hemisphere is just half of a sphere. So instead of a 4 multiplying by a 4, we are multiplying by 2. Half of 4 is 2. So let's find the volume of this hemisphere. Let's first do it in terms of the pi symbol. So I'm going to multiply 2 times 6 cubed. And then we're going to divide that by 3, and we get 144 times pi. Now let's do it in terms of 3.14. So I'm just going to calculate 2 times 3.14 times 6 cubed and divide that by 3, and we get 452 and 16 hundredths. And let's go ahead and make this a unit. Let's just call it inches cubed, inches cubed. Okay, now let's find the radius of a hemisphere. So this time they give us the volume, 2048 pi equals 2 pi r cubed divided by 3. We're trying to find the radius of this hemisphere. We are going to undo the division by multiplying. We get 6,144 pi is equal to 2 pi r cubed. We are now going to divide each side by 2 pi. We get r cubed is equal to 3,072. We're going to take the cube root of both sides. So we're going to say 3 second caret 3,072 gives us 14.5. So we have a radius of about 14.5. Now let's do it in terms of 3.14. We're going to go ahead and multiply 2 times 3.14, which gives us 6.28. So r is being cubed, multiplied, and divided. So we're going to work backward and undo the division by multiplying. And on the left, we get 19,292 and 16 hundredths. Let's divide by our coefficient. We get 3,072. We're going to take the cube root. Don't forget your little index. And then our R is going to be 14.5. I hope this helps.